So mental skills is one of the big themes, but all I know is we've got to get better, and that's why we're here. Over the next couple of days, there'll be situations that are uncomfortable. Number one reason we're here is to try and help us win the Premiership in 2025, boys. There's a trophy sitting there that 17 teams have equal rights to. It all matters, and this year, basically, it matters again.
Back in Vegas, when the Premiership coach began steering his Panthers towards 5 straight, betcha he's thinking about gifted opponents like this guy. Like the Storm captain, Harry Grant, all thunder and lightning, very, very frightening. Suddenly, the 2025 finals arrive, all live here on Fox League. First up, this Friday night, it's the Melbourne Storm and the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. Katoa versus Kickow. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Cam Munster, gone like a breath of wind. And Stephen Crichton, imagine him coming at you. A runaway truck with no driver.
That's it! And the dogs are barking!
Saturday from 2:30, sudden death finals football. And we're across the ditch on high alert for the New Zealand Warriors and the Penrith Panthers.
Oh!
Despite Coach Cleary's pre-season theatrics, his Panthers, they appeared cactus, running dead last of the 17 teams after 12 rounds of competition. 17th.
Bit heavy, wasn't it?
Then the magic returned.
Oh, it's everywhere!
The big show back on the road. Warriors coach Andrew Webster's no stranger, having performed as Ivan Cleary's assistant at the Panthers for their 2021 and 2022 Premiership triumphs. With his inside knowledge, Webster pinched Kiwi international James Fisher-Harris from Penrith. Yeah, and he found Leka Halasima in New Zealand rugby.
Unbelievable!
Leka the Wrecker. Saturday night, sudden death again. This time, the Sharks and the Roosters.
Here we go.
Stay calm, stay clear. Ready?
Craig Fitzgibbon and Trent Robinson, they're old mates, which is rare with coaches in our game. Fitzy served as Robbo's assistant for the Chooks' 3 last premierships, 2013, 18 and 19. But it will be all bets off come Saturday night. For the informed Roosters, there's the high-flying wingers and the get-out-of-here options.
Champagne Rugby League!
And for the Sharks, there's Nico Hines for finesse, and then there's Adam Fanua-Blake, as in none of your business, buddy.
Let's play footy. Yeah! Come on!
Then Sunday, 2:30, this is what finals football's all about. The Raiders and the Broncos.
Now that's going to get the Broncos rolled up.
What a matchup.
Don't you just love rugby league?
The last time these two met in finals was 1995. Still rated one of the greatest rugby league matches ever. In the halves alone, it was Laurie Daly versus Kevin Walters. Captains, Ricky Stewart and Alan Langer. Stick and Alfie. History shows the Raiders won 14-8, but trust me, there was no loser. This time around, it's Hudson Young and Ethan Strange up against Reece Walsh and Payne Haas. How's that? Live the way I like it.
Rugby league! That is stunning! Sensational!
Watch live footy, not ads.
So let's go. 8 teams, 8 games. The NRL finals right here on Fox League.
Welcome to NRL 360 Rugby League from every angle, brought to you by Regain. Joining me again, the great Gordon Tallis, Dan Ganane and Dave Riccio, and the finals are only 2 days away and every game is right here on Fox League, starting on Friday with Storm up against the Bulldogs Saturday, it's the Warriors v the Panthers, followed by the Sharks up against the Roosters, and Sunday, finishing in style, the Raiders home to the Broncos. And guys...
Braith, I got goosebumps. Braith, I got goosebumps after that.
love this.
Can I suggest we cancel this show and play that another 12 times? I don't think there'll be a single complaint. That was bloody unbelievable.
How good was it?
Can we get Matty Nable up on stage with Teddy Swims
Yes.
right before the grand final? Get everyone pumped up.
Teddy Swims, you're a big fan of Teddy
Yeah, massive
Swims.
fan of Teddy. I went and watched him. He was a bit underground playing in Brisbane a couple of times and got some really cool music. Man, I prefer him. He's got a fair bit of grunt to him.
Alternative music scene, eh? Gordy, you into that sort of stuff?
No, it's just a good concert. He's a great concert. He's actually
He's
better
very-
than Taylor Swift in my eyes. Last night I said I didn't like her.
I tested him, Braith. I thought he was BSing me. You know, he rattled through all the songs. He's a proper fan.
I'm actually a big fan of him too. I think he's going to be
Yeah,
awesome.
he's
I'm
really
I'm
cool.
being
Mate,
dead
once
serious.
you see him once, you'll never forget.
Yeah, he's fantastic. Now, Cameron Serrato shakes up the spine again with Reid Marnie axed, and Toby Sexton recalled back into the team. Guys, this come as a bit of a shock, I think, to all of us today.
Yeah, absolutely it did. I didn't see it coming. As far as this change that we anticipate will unfold for Friday night's match, Reid Marnie out of the final 17, Toby Sexton onto that bench. It's a significant change. I mean, I just didn't think we'd see Toby Sexton again.
Yeah.
But here he is getting one more chance.
Dan, what do you think of this?
There's mind games going on between these two coaches, right? Because Canterbury will look at the Melbourne lineup and think Meaney at fullback, Chan at centre, Munster at 6, that might change. Wishart, they're thinking Pezzett might be the 7. And now Canterbury have returned serve. It's a strange decision to have a halfback who doesn't play dummy half. I'm sure he can fill a role, but it's not like he's a versatile player that could go into fullback, go into 13 if needed. He's a pretty diminutive player. Are they planning to play 16 and only use Sexton in case of emergency?
I made some phone calls on this today, fellas. And last week, when the changes need to be made with the Bulldogs, it was Bronson Cherry that suffered the HIA, had to come from the field. That forced Bailey Hayward out to the centres. The feeling from the Dogs was they brought Reid Marnie into that dummy half role. They felt as though they lost their middle a little bit and their way in communication. They believe Hayward is much more dominant communicator than what Reid is. And the changes this week is about if we do have another injury, we don't want to move Hayward. But we have halves cover with Toby Sexton.
So then Burton can go out into the centre.
Burton would be the change. Burton would be the change and slot in at
So
centre.
after 3 seasons there, Reid Marnie, on the eve of the finals, people saying he should be starting more so than being on the bench. He gets chopped completely out of the team. Now, you talk about people, we're talking the likes of Cameron Smith, the greatest 9 of all time, who was calling for him to start. You don't think do you think this is the right move? I know you've spoken to people at the club, obviously, but...
Yeah, Braith, I think it's a massive call. There's no doubt about it.
Is it the right call, though?
Well, yeah, I'll back Cameron Serrato in.
Okay.
I will.
Geez, Canterbury have mastered the dark art of manipulation, of getting a narrative out there. I'm not saying it's wrong with Reid Marnie, but you said it, Braith. He's been there 3.5, 4 years. Now, all of a sudden, he's a bad communicator. He might have been the whole time. But it's funny when they need to push a story. All of a sudden, Toby Sexton, we heard about a first half in Canberra where he did nothing, and then all of it, that was the catalyst. I don't love it, but it is the dark art of getting a story out there.
You can't deny there's been a progression in those 3 years that you guys are referencing in Bailey Hayward. We've seen an emergence of Bailey Hayward.
Listen, I agree with you.
If you listen to the players...
Has the progression been that good for Reid Marnie to be dropped? In his form of late?
If you talk to the playing group, they talk to a dummy half that communicates and drives the team.
The playing group also backed Galvin and said that, and didn't back Sexton, and now he's back in the team.
Yep, I agree with you. I can only take it on the Hayward point of view. They feel like he's a superior communicator to than what Reid is. The other key point is discipline, guys. In big matches, discipline counts. You cannot afford to give away cheap penalties.
Knowing what your teammate's going to do counts more. So I know discipline it's it's massive. You can't do repeat sixes, but to take Reid Marnie out there in the middle, in the heat of the battle, in the first 20 minutes when the whips are going and everything's going crazy, and you got that guy out there, I know what he was going to toss up. And the unknown, and that's why the Raiders, we think Brisbane, because more players have been in finals, and it's a bit of unknown against the Raiders. With Reid Marnie, I reckon I'd know what I'm going to get from him.
I think Reid Marnie's improved a lot with his discipline this year, like astronomically. When I think of Reid Marnie, I think of a tough defender, puts his body on the line for the club. I think of good service off the deck. He provides very good service for his men. He's very reliable. He's fit. And he's played finals before, and I just think it's a bit odd, you know. Like, I'm going for the Bulldogs, I want them to win, but I think it's odd, and you know, I just want to bring it back to the, you know, let's look at the big picture here. You know, Sexton is now back in the team, and Marnie is not even in the 17.
They can tell you a story, you just don't have to believe it. It wasn't broken, the Dogs. If it was broken and they were outside of the 8 and they needed to make changes and they got into it, they were coming first with their 9 and 7.
Was noticeable the game against Penrith a couple of weeks ago against the New South Wales Cup team. As soon as Marnie came on, the service got better and smarter. Braith, I'm going to ask you some questions if I can, because you're former Bulldogs number 6.
Thanks, mate.
Is Hayward a better 13 than 9 right now? They clearly believe Hayward is an 80-minute player, and probably with good reason, because he's been very, very good.
Hayward was very good at 13. At 9... I'd say he's more of a 13. I think it's more of a stopgap right now. I don't think, you know, even Bailey would have thought he was a genuine 9 before the season. That's what I'm saying, you know. And with 13, he can play like a half, but be a runner of the ball, and he was really effective when he was doing that. He's a very good 9. Don't get me wrong, but if you were to say one or the other, I'd probably go 13.
Would this be the perfect week? No Bronson Sherry to say, look, we're going to put Burton in the centres. It's not our ideal scenario. Burton in the centres, Galvin to 5'8", Sexton to halfback. And hey, they don't swallow their pride because they're being forced into a move like this because of injury. Is this not the... They've got a second chance. If they get it wrong, they can bounce back.
Boys, I don't know where you feel as though Cameron Ciraldo listens to the noise. This is a guy that beats to his own drum and has done so ever since he's taken over the job of the Bulldogs, as far as tipping, with Gus, mind you, tipping out players, moving the roster around and going in and getting the roster that he wants to try and find success. I don't see swallowing pride, Dan. I don't even see it as a factor for this coach, to the point of which we're seeing, like, there's a reason they've just extended him to this massive deal.
Yeah, he deserves it.
They are going chips in, and whatever he decides, they're backing. On this occasion,
I don't think any of us, none of us are questioning him as his ability as a coach or his future in this game as a coach. He is an amazing coach and will be one of the great coaches of our game. Yeah. Doesn't mean that you get everything right, you know.
Hey, no way, I'm with you on that, for sure.
And I would say,
and he's still in his infancy as a coach.
He is, and I would say this, that this whole panel, this whole time, has said the same thing. We back Cameron. We trust Cameron.
Absolutely.
Whatever decision he makes, he knows better than us.
Yep.
And I still
doesn't stop us from having an opinion.
It doesn't mean he's got this right as we're watching it unfold at the minute.
Yep.
And if they go out in straight sets, what do you say then?
Well, it hasn't worked, has it?
Yeah. So that's the pressure that it carries. And you know, yes, he beats to his own drum, and he does an amazing job of doing that. But this is big. You know, this is really big.
No team will get a better chance to beat Melbourne in a qualifying final. Melbourne have never been this vulnerable in a top 4 situation. Normally, it's a death match. You can't. Canberra did it once, but apart from that, you can't beat Melbourne in a qualifying final. Melbourne get the week off, prelim at home. They're on their way. They are so vulnerable this week, and that's why the spotlight's on the Dogs here. This is a chance.
I want to come back to you, Dave, because I know you've spoken to people at the Dogs. So I just want to flush it out a little bit more with the Sexton, how they're going to use him. He's obviously starting off on the bench. The reason he got dropped was because they needed more points, more creativity, and they thought Galvin provided that. Yep. How are they going to use him?
Braith, I firmly believe he's the 4th bench player. And I say that respectfully. We see teams sometimes not using their 4th bench player. I think he's the emergency player. Again, should they suffer an injury in their back line, they can move Burton out there. and bring Sexton into the halves. We've seen quality teams do this in the past. The Panthers with Brad Schneider. Cogger did it for Penrith in the grand final. Nico Hines for a period with the Melbourne
Queensland
Storm.
do it in state of
Back
origin.
up halves on your bench. It's not out of the ordinary.
But he's got to be prepared to put his head in and go play in the middle. So
Well,
that's what you've got to do.
it's a good point, Gordy, because interestingly in New South Wales Cup where Sexton has been playing, he's been jumping into 9 as well.
Yeah.
So I feel as though this has been potentially on the cards as a possibility for some time.
Yeah, what do you guys think of it?
Yeah, just as long as he's prepared. Like, I always think it's a luxury. Queensland have done it with a lot of success. But if you can carry a number 7 on your bench or like a bloke that can play in the halves, but he's prepared, you know, if everything's going, he's got to jump in the middle and defend in the middle. That's the hardest thing. But if you can defend in the middle, you know, you carry those guys on the bench.
You think a coach has got too clever for himself and you think, what the hell is he putting that player on the bench? Then you see Reece Walsh get knocked out in a state of origin and look, Selwyn Cobbo's just there to come on. All of a sudden it makes sense. So, you know, I kind of think it's superfluous, but, you know, if Burton goes down in the first 5 minutes, he's a genius.
Fellas, I've got to say, I appreciate it. They are the biggest spotlights. Lachlan Galvin, Reid Marnie, Toby Sexton, and the focus on the dog's spine. I get it. But where's Matt Burton? It's his time.
And Crichton.
He really needs to stand
And
up
kick
now. It's been he's been very much the key half of this team for the longest period. And in this game, he's the one that can shift the momentum of the game through his kicking game. When he runs with force and dominance, he can beat anyone. And it's, for me, Matt Burton is the spotlight player as much as any of those other
He's the spotlight
fellas.
player, but he's also got the 9 and 7 inside of him, you know, to help him be the spotlight player and to bring the best out of Matt Burton. You know, he needs help. Matt Burton, whenever he plays well, the Bulldogs tend to win games. And when he's had his best games, they've won. You know, there hasn't been a shadow of a doubt around that. So it is a big game for Matt, but it's also a big game for his halves partner. You know, it's a big to go into the finals with all this going on, and you know you do have Sexton on the bench now. Now Sexton, I think, can come on and straighten up their attack, which I spoke about last night, and he can play as a 9 or a 7. His kicking game's fantastic, and even when he played 9 before, he was dropped. When he moved, when Galvin come off the bench, they won that game. I think it was against Parramatta, and he was really effective when he played in that 9 position. What happens if Galvin doesn't start the game well, or is there any chance of that happening? Him coming on a 7?
Of him starting the game well, there's a chance.
Mate, if Galvin's struggling throughout the game, could he put him on at 7?
There's the option there, isn't there? And imagine that.
That's what I mean.
Imagine
The irony.
Look, everyone you talk to at the Dogs is backing Galvin to get the job done. So look, he would have to be having a howler. For Sexton to get on.
It's a big game. Isn't it such a
hooking
big game?
Galvin for Sexton.
I just find it all
That's
so
rugby league, baby. Imagine that story.
It's so fascinating.
I know it's self-created. He came to the club, Galvin. He's a kid, halfway through the year, and the Bulldogs rushed him in. But I still get the feeling he's learning who he is.
Yeah, of course.
The 3 games before Melbourne a few weeks ago, 3 games, he ran it 7 times total, so 2 a game. Against Melbourne, he ran it 16 times. He's working out how he fits into this side. It's a tough time
On the run.
to learn how to actually fit into this system.
They haven't found the dynamic or the balance, and they've got to find it this week. Now, Peter V'landys has taken great delight in taking a fresh pot shot at our rival Coders. The NRL revealed Teddy Swims as the grand final entertainment.
It's fantastic. We saw what the FLA got. What's he called? Labrador or Poodle or Labradoodle? I'm not sure.
Oh, Peter.
All I know is it's a dog act. So we had to get better than that. We actually got a vocalist. So there's none of this doof stuff. This bloke can actually sing. It'll beat the Poodle. See ya.
PVL at his best.
You just love him.
He loves it, doesn't he?
I love when he takes them on, sticks up for our game.
He's put a spotlight. Well, you know, clearly AFL's got Snoop Dogg,
which he called Doof Doof, but he's a rapper, isn't he?
Yeah.
Doof Doof, he's got that mixed up
that's
with something
strategy.
else.
That's PVL strategy. He knows exactly what
Snoop
he's
Dogg's
doing.
pretty cool too.
Yeah, he is cool.
Yeah, and at the same time as he's throwing shade on the AFL, the AFL pick up on that and they hear him talking, and it allows the growth of the Melbourne Storm and focus on he drops the Melbourne Storm playing the Dogs in Victoria. You know, he finds little angles to keep promoting the game.
Every time he does that, I think, they're too smart, the AFL, to react. And then they react. They can't help themselves. It's interesting, the strategies of the two. AFL is trying to make a splash. They're trying to be impressive. And that's why they go Robbie Williams, Snoop Dogg. They wanted Bruce Springsteen. That was the dream. They brought out Katy Perry. They'll spend the millions, where the NRL takes a different attitude. One, we're there to watch the game.
Could be our product against them.
Well, that's exactly right. We're there to watch the game, and why spend millions on something just to win social media for 25 minutes? That's their attitude.
How do you feel about Teddy Swims? You happy with that? Or
Look, Gordy is
you
my...
want to bring back Jimmy Barnes?
Now, Gordy,
You'll have face tattoos after the grand final after watching him.
you mightn't be the cultural attaché, but you are my Teddy Swims attaché, because I haven't got a clue
Bus
about
trip on
him.
the way home Sunday, we'll just play him all the way from camp.
That's right. Listen, if it can bring in any new audience members, then I suppose job done.
Yep.
All I care about, because I'm at the game, can he pump the crowd up? It's the same.
He will.
Yeah, he'll do it. He's good.
I don't care who the act, if they can get the crowd pumped up and put on a good 15, 20 minutes, then God bless them.
Well said, Dave. Josh Papalii, injury update.
Yeah, look, he missed yesterday's media opportunity. He was in the moon boot.
So it is real.
Yeah,
He's injured.
Is that his ankle there?
That's his ankle. That's not AI. It's not cut and paste job, but that's it.
That's nasty, yeah.
It's nasty. Guys, when I first picked up on this story earlier this week, talking to the Raiders, the explanation I was given when he went down in the scrimmage
Can we
session
go back to that photo?
Last Friday, he collapses. Now, it was explained to me...
So, hold on.
Yep.
Can I say something? What foot's that?
It looks like right, doesn't it?
Where's the moon boot on?
What? No, let's go back. Oh. Maybe it's a flipped photo or cropped poorly.
Gordon Tallis.
Nah.
Two nights in a row. You've
I don't know. I just
two
saw
nights in a row.
Sorry, Dave.
You
Sorry, Dave. Dave.
Let's I want to double check this.
Dave, I just went out. I just looked at that and I went,
wow.
Okay, his right ankle. Well, that's pretty. Yeah, that's brutal. That looks painful.
Ooh.
Then I saw the moon boot.
Breaking news.
Sorry. I don't want to put holes in your story.
No, you can't. Fake bruises, or is the boot on the wrong foot?
I don't know. I'm not
Are you
calling
still working for the Broncos?
This
No.
is Nick McKenzie stuff.
I'm just not calling Josh Papalii fake. You know, and you know how they take a photo.
It could be.
That's what I thought it could be flipped.
It could be flipped. Let's just go that one.
Yeah.
I think it's a flipped shot through text messages. Yeah.
Yes.
That's my prediction here. So, Dan, you're actually worried if Papa's out.
Well, this is the game they need him, because this is a battle of forwards, right? They could, let's say they go on and play, well, pretty much anyone in the finals. You've still got Tarpany and you've still got Big Red, and you could probably still, you're the forward, you talk to this, Gordy, Paul Holtzway. This game they need him, because they've got to dominate Haas and Carrigan and Jensen and co. Haas and Carrigan, the big ones. No, Willison's interesting, because they were hoping to have him back. But they need Papalii, they need his presence, especially a big event game like this.
I think the last month of Brisbane has been the best football that I've watched, and their ability to move the ball quick. But say 10 weeks ago, no Payne Haas, no Carrigan, they got beaten. There wasn't a lot of go forward. Their outside backs, because Sel and Cobber, they weren't making a lot of metres. The way they've brought Tony Stakes and Reece Walsh into the game with their ball movement, there's a little bit of pressure off their forwards, but they need to win that battle. Tarpany and Papalii up against Payne Haas and Carrigan.
We were worried about Payne Haas staying on the field 10 weeks ago. Remember, his body wasn't holding up to the rigours, and he couldn't train through the week. And Dan's right. This is a forward battle. Look, Big Papa. I hope I don't see a photo tomorrow of it on the moon boot on the right foot. But look, I understand they'll get him right up until Saturday, captain's run. They don't play
there's the original.
There's the original.
There we go. So you're.
That's better.
Everyone can calm down.
Well, maybe that shot's reversed.
There's no conspiracies. What about the bus, though?
Yeah.
Is that real?
Yeah, it's real.
It's real.
Yeah, there's genuine agitation over this, to the point of which an NRL integrity officer back in March after round 2. The
Madge has denied it here,
yeah,
Dave.
well, I'm not copying that.
Oh, okay.
No.
Hang on, what's the story? I watched this last night. So they were made to park a few hundred metres away because they couldn't get in the entrance.
No,
and
yeah,
had
they
to
just
walk.
didn't go in the ground because the Raiders bus was in there and they could only fit one bus.
It's a home ground advantage to me.
That's what it is.
Yeah. And there was a bit of agitation from the Broncos and Madge about why we're parking out here. This is not the way we roll. And to the point of which it was
Stronger leadership you need.
It was escalated to the NRL. They sent an integrity officer down to the Raiders Stadium to do a safety report.
Let's just hope that Dave Donaghy and
This is
Madge
where we're
aren't
at.
playing if that buggers them up. Players, like as I said, Braith, it doesn't matter. We just have to walk into the Sydney Football Stadium, past every fan that's walked out of the pubs on Friday night to play big games. Grand final, you'd have to walk 300 metres through people.
Are they being too precious?
What about going down Caxton Street before Origin
Yeah.
game?
Yeah, buses, yeah.
This is the point. Are they being? Are they too? Are they?
Oh, I don't
precious?
know.
I would think that
Yeah,
it's
I wouldn't
more-
complain about that.
You know what it is?
I wouldn't.
It's more Madge thinking, are they trying to play games with us here?
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
that's what I would think that has happened. He's going, oh, hang on a sec. Now they're moving our bus. We normally park here. This is all mine games. You know what?
I just
Yeah.
have no idea. They have no control of the ground this week because it's NRL ground. They have control of the city. And wouldn't it be funny if there were just snap roadworks somewhere between the hotel and the ground
Don't worry.
at about 1 o'clock on Sunday?
Don't worry, it's happened.
There's
The
an-
old police escort doesn't turn
In
up.
all there's an increasing tension between these two teams.
Yeah.
There really is, and the two coaches as well. And mind games or not, it's setting up for an absolute cracker on Sunday.
All right, Dave, you got some issues with Dennis the Bullfrog's take on Trent Robinson and his achievements this year.
Yeah, look, all credit to Robbo. He's done a good job, but I see my good mate Bulldog gave Trent Robinson an A-. Is it? I can just see A-.
He actually, if you look closer, he gave him an A-, but just go a little bit further down there and he gave him a B+ in the same,
Yes, there
in
you
the same
go.
column. So I
Yeah.
think he's a bit confused,
Yeah.
Bulldog.
So we'll give him a B then. Yeah.
Rated 18 coaches. You're right. You're right.
Oh, they're great.
We'll
Bulldog.
blame the copy takers on that
Oh,
one.
no, we'll blame Bulldog.
Again, quality coach, good effort. But any suggestion that this is one of the best seasons ever by the Roosters in scraping in 8th because Manly and the Dolphins dropped games to get them.
Oh, well, come on, Dave. Come on.
With that roster of 5
What
Origin,
roster?
5 Origin players.
We've gone through this.
And we're going to go again, Brave.
Yeah.
Because it's 5 Origin players. The Dally M Player of the Year. The Dally M Rookie of the Year if the
he
NRL
wasn't the
changed the
Dalian player
rules.
at the start of the year. Robert Toya was an unknown. Nafahu White, they lost Kiwi, they lost
What does it mean at the start
JWH.
of the year?
It means a lot.
He's the Dalian
It
player
means
of
a
the
lot
year this
because
year
what
now.
he is because he's Dalian player of the year and Rob Toya played Origin. Nafahu, you know why they all played so well this year and why they are where they are? Trent Robinson.
What? It's their ability.
Oh, their ability. So
Yeah.
you're not giving no credit to the coach.
You heard me give credit to Robbo. You heard me say that.
Dave, they won
However, that is an elite roster.
There are 3 games.
5 Origin players.
There are
You're
3
not getting
games
the
they
point.
won.
You're not getting the point.
There are 3 games they won.
I'm not getting the point. What point?
They're
They've got-
elite because they were made elite this year. Before the season started, with all their senior players gone, and when they were 1 from 7, what was everyone saying then? Did they have 5 Origin players then? Were they all going to play
Robert
Origin?
Toya-
Was Tedesco going to be
Robert
Dalian
Toya
player of
has
the
been
year?
an elite talent coming through the system for so long. Queensland had injuries in their backline. He gets promoted into the Origin team, becomes a rep player.
I don't buy any
They
of this.
don't make it. There
buy
are 3
sentiment.
games they
Please.
win. They don't make it if they don't win. Against Penrith in round 2, it's the biggest upset of the season
No
officially.
Sam Walker
They
for one
won
of the
with
year.
plumbers and
Great job.
concreters. A bloke had to go and do a cashy at 7 o'clock the next morning.
That's good coaching. That's good coaching.
An unknown called Hugo Savala kicks
Yes.
the Broncos to death in round 6, 26-16.
If you drop James Tedesco into the majority of the top 8
Mark,
teams,
Toya.
right?
They do have some good players.
got him.
What, the Sharks?
They do have some great
Like the
players.
Sharks.
They go to Gosford. All
The Roosters-
these 5 players that you're
listen.
punishing them for don't play, and they
Listen.
beat your Sharks.
The Roosters should be
Listen, I'm
they
caught
should
in
be
the middle.
$1.20 against
I
Cronulla.
think.
Oh, my God.
They should be.
You've been hanging around the Shire too long, brother.
No, listen, I think the young halves
you don't think that's
in
a
the
good
middle,
roster?
great
It's
coaching.
a bloody good roster.
The others are
Is it
really
better
good
than
players.
8?
It's a good roster because they've produced that roster. It wasn't a good roster at round 7 this year, round 8 this year.
That's not about how they've been produced or developed or anything
Yes,
like
it is, because
to
they
do
weren't
with
the
coaching.
players they are now. So the roster's stronger now because of the way they've played and been coached.
Should they
Savala was an unknown. I'll go through it again if you want me to do it.
Should they-
Toya, Nafahu,
Yep.
White, Savala, all unknowns.
Yep. Lindsay Collins, Spencer Leniu, Toya, Teddy,
Toya, you've gone Toya again. We've mentioned him. Teddy was out of form.
Angus
Couldn't
Crichton,
make New South
Victor
Wales.
Radley.
Was at the end of his career.
Victor Radley, Angus Crichton.
Victor Radley's
Tupou.
had 10 concussions this year.
Yeah,
You're
but
going to
they're
use
still
him as
good
a
players.
He's a
Yeah,
good-
but
they're still good
this is
players.
this is just a
Should they have
ridiculous
finished higher
argument.
than 8?
Gordy, let's just stay out of this.
Hey?
Should they have finished higher than 8th?
Given the circumstances with no Sam Walker, the way they started the season, I think 8th was an amazing finish for them. No one gave them a chance. People put line through them, they had no chance, and now all of a sudden you've got them at $1.20 to beat your team.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Cronulla don't have a rep player.
Oh, here we go with Cronulla.
Well, they
again.
don't.
Oh my
Well, they don't.
God. They don't have a good rep player because I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. But they've had the same roster on big money who are high quality
Yep.
players for a long period of time.
But they don't have an origin player. And the Roosters have got 5.
Oh my God, are we going to go back there? Do you want me to talk you through it again?
No, that's what I
These
mean.
players were not Origin players at the start of the year, Dave. There's Origin players now because of the way they've played the back end of the year through their coaching and key players standing up and blokes being like Savala and Toya, and I'll say it again, who have stood
done
up
good
when they were
jobs.
nobodies.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me that they've underachieved this year.
Okay.
That's my opinion anyway. All right, Sharks winger, Dave. Ronaldo Mulitalo couldn't give a rat's about much this afternoon, actually. Take a listen.
Last few years, finals record hasn't been great. Have you spoken about how to handle this situation better?
Well, what's great to you, like playing finals every year. Well, other clubs, there's 8 other clubs or 9 other clubs that haven't played finals, so couldn't care less what anyone says about finals records and blah, 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 blah. It's the same stuff every year.
You see some freaky stuff that he does. Do you sit back in awe sometimes?
Yeah, I don't really watch football anyway, so I couldn't give a rat's about what's going on, to be honest.
Why do you like this place so much?
Yeah, I don't know why we would take the game back to Allianz where that's their home. Cronulla Sharks fans don't want to cross the bridge anyway, so love this place and it's our home. Whether you like it or not, if not, just be better than us and go at number 5 and take it to your home, so...
Very unique perspective for one of the greatest minds in our game there. Ronaldo didn't give a rat's about anything.
Talk us through that.
He speaks his mind, Ronaldo. It's quite refreshing, isn't it? When there's a lot of vanilla players in the game. Ronaldo's not one of them.
I agree with that, actually. You know what? He does
made
rub
a lot of
people up the
points,
wrong way. I'd rather than be a bit chesty.
Yeah, this is our home ground. If you don't like it, finish higher than us, get you home. He said all the right things.
It's about time, honestly.
A lot of players don't watch footy anymore like they used to.
Yeah.
That part I didn't like. You got to watch footy.
Yeah.
That's your job. If you're in the stock market, you watch the stocks.
There's a couple of coaches in the game when they meet a player that they're trying to sign. One of the very first question they ask is, "Do you watch footy?" And if they say no, they're not interested in the player.
Yeah, I wouldn't sign them either.
Week 1, haven't won since 2016. It's about, come on, Dave, it's about time.
Yeah,
Come on,
absolutely.
Dave.
Thank you, Dan.
Turn
Thank you,
that
Dave. That was
pork
fun.
on.
That was very fun. Up next is the Legends Agenda with Ben Elias and Jeff 2. Welcome back. Time now for Legends Agenda with Benny Elias and Jeff Tuvey. Hello, Legends. How are we, all right?
Yeah, excited.
The finals is here. Have you seen a more open one in recent times?
Well, I haven't. I mean, I was just saying to Benny out there in the room, you could flip the whole 8 and do it in reverse, and you wouldn't be at a place like the Roosters, Panthers, Warriors, Sharks in the top 4. Yeah. But they're not. It's the Raiders, Storm, Bulldogs, and the Broncos. So I just said it's going to be a really exciting and close series.
And any side, as Toof says, can win this premiership. And they're saying the first time, I reckon, in the history, I think someone's going to do something special this year. They're going to turn it on their head, I reckon, from either 7 or 8. And all these sides are fantastic. Yeah. But the exciting part leading into this competition this year is the high scoring that's been happening week in, week out. And it's not just... when it used to be a 6-4 grand final, the finals are always defensive. You're going to see some great football, and I just can't wait.
Yeah, 6 again, speed of the game.
Oh.
That's where it's got to now. There's
Great.
a lot more tries now. Big news today with Reid Marnie being dropped out of the team. What did you guys think of that?
Well, mate, I wear a number 9. I always did all my life playing professional football. And this kid, Reid Marnie, was, you know, he was there around 16 when they were leading the premiership with Sexton at number 7. Why the hell do you want to break something if it's not broken? And it's exactly what they try to do. They try to be too smart for their own good, the Bulldogs. And all of a sudden, they are second-guessing, putting players in focal positions now that they just wish and hope for it's going to work. It doesn't happen like that, as we all know as players. The 4 of us have played. You need a specialist hooker. He throws the ball probably better than any other number 9 in the game. His toughness around the mark and play, he's rock solid. His contribution and his combination with the other players, first class. I just don't know what the hell they're doing.
I'm with you, Benny, a little bit, but is he too much rock solid and not
creative?
X factor. He's not that X factor, whereas those other two.
What does that say about your halves? Is that why Sexton's come back on the bench?
Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe they want to spice it up by juggling him into that 9 position. I'm not sure where he adds that extra spark at a dummy half. But as I said, he's a great player, Marnie, but has he got that X factor? I don't think so.
Well, okay, are the Dogs a better side since Galvin's got in there?
No, absolutely not. Have a look at the scoreboard. They're not. There's not continuity there. They say all the right things off the football paddock, but mate, this kid at the Tigers, he would touch the ball twice out of every set of 6. He controlled the game. He owned the game. Over here at the Bulldogs, mate, he touches it once out of every 12. And mate, you don't want that from a number 7. You need a bloke that takes charge of the game. And unfortunately, coming halfway through, more than halfway through a season, he hasn't got that notoriety, that influence, that you know, he's got to get to know the players. And you get to know the players in the off-season, not halfway through the season, and all of a sudden you expect it all to happen and glue together.
You're
True.
Right, yeah, you're right. He just needs more time there, and being rushed in halfway through a season, I think has disturbed the balance of the side.
Well, did they make the wrong decision then?
I would know. I'm not close enough to it, but in hindsight, looking back, they've probably lost a bit more at the back end of the season than they have at the beginning. So maybe there's upset the apple cart a little. Not saying it's a wrong decision and they won't be successful in the semi-finals, but it is difficult.
We've played the game. We know that when we train in the off-season, November, December, in the steaming hot weather, our mates, and you go for a drink afterwards, you go to a barbecue at their place, you form that relationship. You know the strengths and weaknesses of those players. You know him. And if you fall over, you know that there are 3 blokes to pick you up. The Bulldogs just don't look like that anymore. They're second-guessing. Sexton, all of a sudden, they're bringing him back.
It's a good point you make, you know. Like, it just shows, like, you've got to be a tight unit. And you know, they're putting on a, you know, like they're saying that the players are happy with this, and they're saying that the players are behind every decision.
They're told to say that. You know that. Mate, the big head honcho, there's obviously a couple of influential people there.
Who are you talking about?
Well, you know, I'm not going to mention names, but Gus Gould, I tell you, if he doesn't have that much influence on those players, I'm not sitting here.
All right, what about the Broncos? They've been so good the last month. Why do you think so?
I just think that they've got that really competitive edge in the forwards where they tackle everything they do, all the hit-ups. Not that creative around the ruck, but they've got some fantastic outside backs. And their fullback, hello, did you see him last week? Here he goes. He's a genius with the ball. Not so defensively so much, but with the ball, anything can happen around him. And many of their outside backs are similar to him as well. So I think they've got so much X factor in their side, they could do anything.
Yeah, I reckon one name, Reece Walsh. My God, I've not seen anything more exciting. The only other bloke in the game at the moment is Marky Mark, who plays for the Roosters on the wing. I mean, those 2 players should be on every second billboard in the country. They are superstars. They both do things that you just can't believe are humanly possible. They're fantastic. And seeing Reece Walsh, mate, he's certainly taken the reins at the moment. He's grown up and matured.
What about Adam Reynolds? What do you do with him? Do you bring him straight back in?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Why?
Yeah, you have to. You can't leave a quality player out, such as him. Big game player, match winner. You need him to organise it.
Yeah, correct. No, I say no.
Well, here's another one. Have 2 then.
Yeah, gotcha.
You can't have 2.
What, 6 and 7? then. And with Billy
Tubes,
Donnell.
you of all people know.
It doesn't matter.
Tubes, you of all people know you can't have two people controlling that ruck.
No, I think they'll work it. I think Reynolds is with the controller.
Mate, as I said, don't break anything that ain't broken.
Yeah.
You know, honest to goodness, you know, and the Broncos are on fire, as you know. They don't do anything right.
Broken, Ricky and Madge. Madge can't park his bus. Ricky doesn't hold grudges, does he, guys? Does he?
Do you know what? I mean...
Mate, where do you reckon the bus is going to get parked this week?
Those two
if those tyres are slashed, I know who's done it.
They're not very competitive, those two, are they?
I know, right?
Ricky and Madge, they're not very competitive.
Oh, but, you know, they've crossed paths, obviously, in the playing days. And Sticky, I'm so happy for him, you know, and they deserve every success they get down there in Canberra. Because, mate, if there's anyone that deserves a premiership as a coach, it's Sticky, Ricky Stewart.
What about I believe they got a right to pick. Like, they finished first to pick whatever day they want to play. Are you surprised they didn't pick a cold night? They're picking a beautiful Sunday afternoon.
I think it's great for Canberra. The green machine down there, the supporters, they'll come out in droves. They'll get the sea of green down there. It'll be fantastic. They get the big Viking clap going and away they go.
Yeah, but they do that in the snow. They wouldn't care.
They love it. It's better in the sun than in the snow.
So I want to ask you a question about the coaching, about Madge and Ricky. When you coached, did it ever come into your mind the opposition coach? Were you ever competitive against a certain coach? Was it a thing?
Not for me personally, but I think my former coach, partner, Des Hasler, I think it would have come across his mind a few times. He loved
it's not personal with you? You didn't need any investigations into anything?
Well, it was personal when it came to the referees, mind you. Maybe not with the other coaches, but when you've got someone making decisions that affects the game so that are out of your control, that's when it gets a bit personal.
All right, how do you rank the final top 8 teams?
Well,
Benny?
mate, I'll tell you what, I've got a mate of mine who's won the footy competition nationally, and he's a butcher, and he was such a prolific winner of the competition that I can't help not going for the Raiders. It's about
to come up now, Benny.
Well, I think it's, where is it?
You know what? Just rank them from here. You point and you number them, what you've got. 1 down to 8.
Well, I reckon. Well, I think the Raiders win this competition this year. I thought maybe the Broncos, but no, I think the Raiders win this competition quite convincingly. I think Melbourne 4. I think Bulldogs get knocked out 2 more games. They've got 2 more games left in them this year. Warriors and Panthers will struggle. Love to see the Panthers just keep on keeping on and get there and do the unknown, you know. But I don't know. It's just such a wide range.
You got the Raiders on top, eh?
I've got the Raiders on top, mate. Love the Raiders. Loving the Raiders.
I think they deserve to be there. That's the point. They've been the best all season, consistently the best all season.
Do you think they'll win it too?
No.
Okay. Who you got?
Well, if I was the other 6 teams, I'd be really fearful of the Panthers and the Roosters coming from 7 and 8th. They've got track record, both teams, and they're in pretty good form.
Okay.
Who do you think?
Just quickly before we go, what do you think about the Roosters making the 8? Do you think they underachieved this year? Just off the back of what Dave was saying.
Well, I reckon, I said to you, Marky Mark is a special player. They got 5 strike plays in that side.
Oh, he's on Rickio's side. A lot of strike.
I love the Roosters. I think they on their day, and there's only 3 days you need to be on your game. If they can do that back to back with a very experienced Trent Robinson, I think they're almost, as I said.
Benny, just quickly for the Tigers fans, were you happy with the way the Tigers finished the season?
Look, they tried very hard. I mean, they played your mob, the Titans, at the end. They should have smacked them.
Wooden spoons. I thought they went.
Yeah, well, you've got to be better than 3 wooden spoons. So it's been a major improvement. So I give them a C-.
All right, now it's time for What Do You Love? And thanks to Maccas. Twos.
I'm really excited and loving this semi-finals series, as we can see on the screen there. Anyone can win. We just spoke about it. And my tip is maybe someone from outside the top 4 could win.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to maybe the Penrith Panthers doing something special over there in New Zealand. Let's not forget about them. Far away, and we all forget about them. But by goodness, they've had a great year, haven't they, the Warriors? And looking forward to it. And I know a mate of ours who did face-to-face with Yvonne just recently, Gary Schofield's watching from England.
Oh, nice.
And he just cannot wait for the final series to begin.
Beautiful. Nor can we. Stick around, legends. The NFL has returned this Friday. The Green Bay Packers take on the Washington Commanders live at 10 a.m. on ESPN. Welcome back. Now it's time for Ain't As Good As I Once Was. And we've got finals fever, which we'll get to. But, Benny, we found it. We finally found it. So you got 10 seconds to take us through it.
Thanks for that, mate. It's my mate Billy the Butcher who gave me these top 8 because he won the national competition, and I think he's almost spot on. I like the Raiders and Storm.
So that's the rankings,
finals.
top to bottom?
That's the rankings.
You want anything for a free sausage, Benny? Bit of sausage, eh?
All right, now it's all about finals. It's all about the finals, twos. Talk to us about your one.
Oh, it was 95 preliminary final, Manly versus Newcastle. I just came back from some surgery, I suppose, on a neck, and we got a good victory up there. Managed to make a break somewhere.
Geez, you're a bit of a spunk there, with the old blonde, flocky hair.
Oh, I had some hair there.
Look at that.
Cliffy. That combination.
I actually set Cliffy up for one instead of him setting that one up for Beaver.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah. So we won. It was a close game, tough game, but yeah.
Love it, twos. Love it. I used to love watching you play, by the way. You're a little freak. Benny, 1989.
Yeah.
What do you got for us?
Well, look, you know, two of the great foundation clubs, 1908, both clubs come into the competition, and the clashes of the South Sydney side against the Balmain Tigers was always something special. Back then, you had a different rule. You could rake back in the ball. You were allowed it. You competed.
You and Mario. I remember those days.
Loved Mario at his very, very best. He was. Mario was a great competitor. And look, this was a moment here that changed the game, I thought, in Allianz Stadium. We scored a try in the right-hand corner here at it was called the Sydney Football Stadium back then. And here we go. So, Meggsy, God bless you, Meggsy. Meggsy's a little bit crook at the moment. Yeah. And Andy Courier, one of the great English centres.
Andy Courier.
What a mate, it was fantastic. And that got us into the grand final against the Raiders.
Gordy, quick one. 2000?
Yeah, 2000 Broncos versus the Sharks, actually. So I don't remember this game, but the Sharks... they bounced out to a 14-0 lead.
What do you mean you don't remember it?
I don't remember it. And then they got out to 20, and they got to 20-6.
Really?
So, yeah, and then we end up coming over the top and beating them 34 points to 20.
And you can't remember it?
No.
I don't remember a lot of my games either.
Really? That moment, you must remember that.
Double, Gordy?
You must remember that.
Double?
2 tries, come on. Don't be modest.
Only scored 70, Benny.
All right, thank you, legends. Enjoy the final series if we don't see you beforehand, all right? Up next is Joel Kane's weekend forecast, and following us, it's The Fan. Welcome back. Now it's time for an update from Sportsbet with Joel Kane. But you're back.
I'm back, mate. I'm back.
We missed you last week.
Back from holidays, mate.
Pressure, some eat it, some get eaten by it. It's finals time, boys. I want to ask you this, Gordy. Grand final. Who do you see in your crystal ball?
I like the two teams playing on Sunday. Yep. Probably Raiders and Brisbane. I'd like to see those two playing the grand
If you check out the feed and pending bets, boys, myself and 164 people in April, we're on it at $61 at Quinella. Which brings me to this. The NRL final, pick 9, right? So can you pick 9 in a row? That's the question. Anyone can do this. Juicy prices. This is my 9 in a row. It's a bit complex, but what you do on the Sportsbet app, you select the team you think's going to win. In my case, the Broncos, who I think will lose in week 1, go the long road and win. But it's the NRL finals, pick 9. And as I said, keep an eye on the feed. We're also on the Roosters at $41, the Broncos at 17. You've got to keep an eye on the feed.
I like this. This is good fun as well.
Really good.
Bit of good fun.
Good fun.
Yeah, I don't know how I'd go with this one, but anyway, I like it. I love your work.
Roosters and Dogs he's got.
Good.
And thanks to Shawnee too, by the way. He's a star as well. You can follow him on the feed. He was great last week.
He was. Thank you, Joel. Thank you, Gordy.
Thanks, mate.
That's it for NRL 360 for this week. Now it's time for The Fan.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.